We all have comfort zones, and guess what? We need it. Yes, you need your comfort zone because it's a safe place, a familiar place, a place where you feel loved, accepted, supported, and even if there are disagreements, they are quickly resolved. It's equally a place where you have mastered what you do. It's become routine, and to a certain extent, it's predictable, which means you go through your day with very little doubts and uncertainties, fewer risks. You feel like you are in control. And so it's almost like a less stressed life. And who does not want to be in that kind of a zone? Tell me, who enjoys being in a place that feels unsafe and unfamiliar? Nobody wants to be in that place where you are disliked for no reason, a place where you have to put in so much hard work and less playtime. You have to sacrifice some sleep, some money, deny yourself the desires of the flesh, a place where you have to walk by faith and not by sight, a place where you sometimes have to walk alone. So if we are given the choice to pick between these two zones, it's just natural to tilt towards the comfort zone. And somebody is already asking that if the comfort zone is so beautiful, has all these benefits, then why try to get out of it? Why try to rock the boat? Let sleeping dogs lie. See, your comfort zone may be that place where you feel like yourself, that place where you comfortably and confidently serve and make a difference, but it's not necessarily the place of your greatest contribution. It's not necessarily the place where you function at your maximum potential. Someone said you'll never be able to know what you're made of until you venture outside familiarity. It's scary, but that's where you do much more, you become much more because you have experienced much more. It's in those moments where I have pushed myself out of the familiar that I begin to see my potential. I equally see where I'm lacking that needs work. So if you sit in your comfort zone, you may be telling yourself, oh, I'm just too good, not realizing that you're not your best yet. Or you may be telling yourself the opposite, I'm not good enough, just because the familiar is blinding you from seeing what you are truly made of. Now, am I saying that in order to function at your maximum or full potential, you have to be in this place of constant fear and doubt and anxiety and stress? No. Some people just leap out of their comfort zone over into this zone where they are constantly experiencing fear and anxiety to the point where it paralyzes them and brings them to a place of zero productivity. We have to be very careful because sometimes greed and lack of contentment can disguise as ambition. People like that just glide through life, rushing from one thing to the next and never really enjoying a moment of it. Just busy, going nowhere fast. Yes, it's true that stepping out of your comfort zone, you will experience some fear, doubt, uncertainty, but it will only be to the degree of pushing you to bring out your best. When I started my YouTube channel, I was new to recording, new to editing. I felt the pressure of stepping out of your comfort zone. This was an unfamiliar territory to me, and I felt like it came in and almost disrupted the familiar, my routine that I was used to, the rhythm at which things flowed for me, my life, my home. I felt like, it came and disrupted it a little bit. Like I said, you will not know where you're putting your steps. I found myself behind with some things that I normally would not be behind with. It really felt like I had gone out of rhythm. But this fear, this anxiety was just enough to push me to bring out the best within me. It wasn't there to crash me because I still remember earlier I had also just started and I wanted to do 2 videos a week. There were some things and I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm talking for me and my situation at that time. That was me stretching too far to a place where I was going to not be productive. So I had to realize that yes, I stepped out of my comfort zone, but I didn't have to go to a breaking point. And again, I'm not saying that don't stretch too far, don't dream too big or keep it safe. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm only saying that step out, leap as far as you can, but let it not be to the place where you are not able to accomplish that which you are leaping out for. Secondly, this discomfort is just for a while. You have just stepped out of your comfort zone. Yes, there's that fear, anxiety, your steps are going zigzag, you're not sure where and how to put them. And that's why people fear. Nobody wants to be in that place where you feel like you are not in control. But as you keep on going, before you know it, it begins to feel familiar. It begins to feel like a routine, predictable, like a safe space. What have you just done? You have expanded your comfort zone. And that is why I said this will make you leave your comfort zone. Because if you now begin to tell your mind that I'm not leaving my comfort zone, but I'm rather expanding my comfort zone, that sounds more motivating, and you'll be able to push yourself to take that first step. So please do not be afraid to step out, because you're not actually stepping out, you are actually expanding your comfort zone. What you were not comfortable with, you are now comfortable with. Maybe all you were comfortable with before is to be around the people who love and accept you. But now you have trained that muscle by stepping out so that you can still function where you are loved and where you are not, where you are accepted and where you are not, where people understand you and where people do not understand you. Maybe before you could only be comfortable to work in a certain place, but now you have pushed yourself to see that, you know what, I can still function, I can still work where the resources are available and where the resources are not so available. That's why Paul says that I have learned to be content in plenty and in lack, because he has experienced both. Like I said, you can do more because you have experienced more. You will never know that you can handle the pressure outside your comfort zone until you step out of it, and then by so doing, expand it. But please, like I said earlier, do not be in a rush to step out of that comfort zone. If you've just expanded your comfort zone, take the time to understand yourself. Take the time to understand that season and enjoy that season, and also give out in that season. Let people get all that they had to get from you in that season. And when it's time to expand again, you do so. Now the question becomes, how do I know it's time for me to step out? It's time for me to expand my comfort zone. Take note of these 4 things that I'm going to talk about, because these are 4 signs to tell you that it's time for you to leave your comfort zone. When that comfort zone, that place that you used to feel happy, you used to feel like yourself, you felt contented, when it starts to feel like, 1, a box or a wall within which you are trapped, then it's time for you to expand. It's time for you to leave that comfort zone. Secondly, if it begins to feel like a place that no longer serves you, then it's time for you to expand. It's time for you to leave that comfort zone. A lot of us are still sitting in places that no longer serve us. Just because it's familiar, we are afraid to step out into uncertainty, and we stay there, busy, going nowhere fast. You know, I just talked to you guys about my YouTube channel. After a while, there were some things I was using that did not serve me anymore. I remember when I just started, I actually used to just put my phone against a book. And if you look on YouTube, you see so many people say that's how they began. You know, that's how you start, when you're just using a phone. But midway, I saw that it would not serve me anymore. I had to go grab a ring light. I had to grab this or that, you know, to make things better and easier and more efficient for me. So you see, it's always a choice. You can stay where it's not serving you, or you can choose to push yourself beyond that comfort and expand your comfort zone. Are you sitting in a relationship that's no longer serving you? Are you sitting in a job that's no longer serving you? Are you in a place spiritually that is no longer serving you? Do you have some values, some mindsets, some principles that you know very well is no longer serving you? You need a mindset change altogether. How many things in your life are you still holding on to that are not serving you? And many times people feel that because something is not serving in me, it means I should dump it away and go look for something else. Getting out of your comfort zone does not necessarily mean go look for more. Getting out of your comfort zone could just mean doing things differently. So when I say that a relationship or a job no longer serves you, it does not automatically mean that leave that job, leave that relationship and go for a new one. It could just be that what you have been doing that used to work, that formula that used to work, no longer works, and you need something else. You need to change your mind. You need to do something deeper, something higher, something wider, you know, for it to now begin to serve you. Expanding or getting out of the comfort zone does not always have to be you going to do something more. It's just about doing something that scares you, which means that for you, maybe resting is something that scares you. Maybe taking a break is something that scares you. Maybe God is calling you to that place, but you are feeling like, no, my world will fall apart if I do this. Yet you know from deep within that you are being called in this season to kind of pull back. You are being called in this season to slow down. You are being called in this season maybe to take a break so that you can work on your mental, emotional, your relationships. So comfort zone for you, getting out of your comfort zone for you may not be going out there to do more. The third thing is that when that comfort zone begins to feel like a place where you are no longer growing, it's time for you to expand, because leaving things grow. And so when you stop growing, stagnancy feels like death. When you leave your comfort zone, you get into a growth zone. Growth means you'll have to start from somewhere. It could be a baby step or a gigantic leap. Growth also means you'll have to fight some battles, push through some dirt to see the light. You'll face the risk of failing and may have to start all over again. Growth means you'll face uncertainties, and that's where hope and faith comes in. You see, we like to stay in our comfort zones because that's where we feel like we are in control. We do not want to come to that place of total abandonment and surrender to God. The fourth sign is that when that place of comfort no longer feels like a place where you feel fulfilled, then it's time to expand. The enemy of great is good. When things are good, you hardly push yourself for greatness. Haven't you noticed that it is when people hit rock bottom that they begin to ask for help, that they rise up and begin to do something with their lives? As long as things are not too sweet, not too sour, we play around, right? My health is not too good, but I've not yet had any bad report from the doctor, so I can just continue with my bad habits. I don't have too much, but my bank account has not hit zero, so I can just keep rolling. This relationship is not too good, but it's not too bad either, so I'm not going to change anything. I'm not going to change the formula of how we're doing things. And the list can go on and on. I know that my mind is not so sound, my soul is not very sound, but I'm not on any anxiety medication, so I can still afford to feed my mind and my soul with things that weigh me down. You are in a place where it's just okay, but there is no fulfillment, yet you stay there. I think that's why the devil likes to keep us in that lukewarm place where we are blinded, and he can begin to eat in our lives like a cankerworm. What is that thing in your life? Where is that area in your life that has not hit rock bottom, but you know that it's equally not at its best and it has the potential to be at its best? Then it's time for you to leave that comfort zone or expand that comfort zone by doing things differently. Let me also ask you, what is that thing that you so badly want to do, but it scares you? And what is that baby step that you can take today that will start you off on that journey? Please identify it and start off on that journey. I know it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, but remember I said it's but for a moment. The children of Israel, when they left Egypt, the journey became so tough that they were almost thinking of going back to Egypt. They were like, oh my goodness, we had something to eat. We had our cucumbers, our onions. But what they forgot was that even though it felt comfortable there, they were slaves. Do not run back to Egypt because of the little comfort that you're going to get there. Keep up on your journey. Before you know it, you will reach your promised land. So which of these 4 signs have you experienced in the past or are presently experiencing right now? Please do let me know in the comment section below. And if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, give it the thumbs up, share it so that others will come to the understanding of how they can get out of their comfort zone. And if you're new here, come on and join this beautiful family of bloomers and let us continue on this journey together to pursue our purpose with more clarity and from a place of balance. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next.